Hello, and welcome. Let's talk about something that's often overlooked but incredibly important: the power of living alone. It might seem counterintuitive, especially in a world where we're often encouraged to be in relationships, but there's something truly special about living on your own terms, in your own space, with just yourself. It's not about loneliness, but rather the power of solitude, the strength you can discover within yourself when you have the freedom to just be. Living alone offers you the chance to truly connect with yourself. It's easy to forget who we are when we're constantly surrounded by others. Our identities often get shaped by those we interact with, but when you're on your own, you can rediscover your passions, your values, and your inner desires. This process of self-reflection is something you can't get when you're always trying to meet someone else's needs, expectations, or even just their company. When you live alone, you're in charge of your space. You decide how it looks, feels, and functions. There's no need to compromise on anything. It's a place where you can fully express yourself without worrying about how someone else might feel. Whether it's decorating your home the way you like or having complete control over your routine, living alone means freedom. This kind of autonomy is often underappreciated in relationships, where decisions tend to be more collaborative, and sometimes, that can cause stress or feelings of frustration. In solitude, you're in control, and that can be incredibly empowering. The freedom of living alone also gives you the opportunity to deeply work on your own growth. You can spend time focusing on your personal development, whether that's in your career, learning new skills, or simply working on emotional intelligence. You can set your own goals and move at your own pace, without any external distractions or pressures. This is the space where you can truly listen to your inner voice and allow your true self to emerge, unfiltered and unjudged. Relationships can offer support and growth, but they can also sometimes hold you back. The energy you invest in someone else can become draining if it isn't reciprocated in a healthy way. When you live alone, you can heal, recharge, and grow on your own timeline. There's no rush to meet someone else's needs before your own, no pressure to be something you're not. The result? A stronger, more centered version of yourself who is ready to engage with the world, but on your own terms. Living alone also means less external stress. Think about it: there are no arguments over what to eat for dinner, no misunderstandings or expectations about how you should spend your time. You can organize your life in a way that best suits your own needs. That reduces the mental clutter that comes with juggling the emotions, schedules, and demands of others. When you're free from this, you have the space to truly listen to yourself, to focus on your emotional health, and to take care of your mind, body, and spirit without distraction. In relationships, there's often a constant need to navigate emotional terrain. You may find yourself walking on eggshells, unsure of how your partner will react to something you say or do. With that comes anxiety, wondering if your words or actions will be misinterpreted, if you're meeting the expectations of the other person. When you live alone, you don't have to worry about those dynamics. You can be at peace, knowing that your space and your decisions are entirely your own. This peace is invaluable, and the emotional space it provides allows you to cultivate a sense of inner calm that would be difficult to find in a shared living situation. Another important aspect of living alone is the ability to connect with your intuition. In relationships, we often let external influences cloud our own judgment. When you're on your own, you can reconnect with your internal wisdom. Without the interference of someone else's perspective, you can make decisions that are aligned with your true self, your authentic needs, and your desires. This kind of self-trust is essential for living a fulfilling life, as it enables you to make choices that serve your well-being, rather than seeking validation or approval from others. Living alone doesn't mean you're isolated, though. You're still free to create meaningful relationships and experiences with others when you choose to. But by living alone, you gain the clarity to determine what relationships are truly nurturing, and which ones are simply draining. You learn to discern between people who add value to your life and those who might be more toxic than helpful. You can approach your relationships from a place of strength and independence, rather than from a sense of need or dependency. Sometimes, we stay in relationships because we fear being alone. We think that being in a relationship is the only way to feel fulfilled. But the truth is, when you're comfortable in your own space, with your own company, you're not looking for someone else to complete you. You're already whole. Living alone allows you to realize that you don't need someone else to define your happiness. Instead, your happiness is something that comes from within. And when you do enter a relationship, it's not to fill a void, but to share your joy and experiences with someone who complements your life, not completes it. One of the most important benefits of living alone is the space it gives you to heal. Healing from past wounds, emotional trauma, or just the stresses of daily life requires a certain level of quiet and solitude. When you're surrounded by others, it can be hard to process emotions, as you might feel the need to put on a brave face or caretaker for others. But in your own space, you have the freedom to feel whatever you need to feel and to let go of things that no longer serve you. You can create a healing environment that supports your emotional needs, helping you move forward and grow stronger. When you live alone, you're not subject to anyone else's pace or agenda. You can wake up when you want, do what feels right, and prioritize your needs. You can practice mindfulness, meditation, or whatever activities bring you peace. The choice is yours, and that's incredibly liberating. When you're on your own, you don't have to fit into anyone else's mold. You can create your own version of life that's perfectly tailored to your desires. There's also a sense of creativity that flourishes when you're alone. Without the distractions of constant conversations or decisions made with someone else, you have more time and energy to tap into your creative side. Whether it's writing, painting, or pursuing any other creative endeavor, living alone often provides the perfect environment for personal expression. It's a space where your ideas can flow freely without the judgment or interruption of others. This creative energy can help you heal, grow, and discover parts of yourself you may have never known before. As we live our lives, we often forget how important it is to focus on our own well-being. In relationships, it's easy to neglect our own health, both physical and emotional, while we prioritize the needs of others. Living alone gives you the opportunity to take care of yourself without feeling guilty. You can focus on what makes you feel strong, healthy, and happy. And when you're strong, healthy, and happy, you're in the best position to create meaningful, supportive relationships with others. There's a shift that happens when you live alone, a shift that leads to deeper self-understanding. You start to recognize your own patterns, behaviors, and emotional triggers. You begin to learn more about your thoughts and how they influence your feelings and actions. In a relationship, this level of self-awareness can be difficult to achieve, as it's easy to focus on the dynamics of the other person instead of your own inner world. But in solitude, you have the time and space to reflect and evolve, to break free from patterns that no longer serve you, and to develop a healthier relationship with yourself. Ultimately, living alone is not about isolation or shutting others out. It's about self-discovery and personal empowerment. It's about gaining the clarity and peace that comes with having your own space to think, reflect, and grow. It's about learning to trust yourself, to rely on your own strength, and to recognize that you are enough, just as you are. When you live alone, you learn that you don't need someone else to complete you, because you are already whole. If you feel like your life is constantly being shaped by the needs and expectations of others, it might be time to take a step back and reconsider the power of living alone. Think of the space, the freedom, and the opportunity for self-growth that it provides. When you learn to be happy in your own company, you'll find that relationships come from a place of wholeness, not need. And that's when the true beauty of connection can unfold. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like it and share it with others who might need to hear this message. Subscribing to this channel will keep you connected with more insightful content that can help guide you toward living a life that truly aligns with your authentic self. If you're ready to continue exploring the power of living on your own terms, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more empowering videos like this. Your journey to self-discovery and growth is just beginning, and we're here to support you every step of the way.